Hey everyone, Aladar here, and last night in my stream I had several people ask me what I thought about the new class changes in the World of Warcraft class preview series. So far they've done 3 different classes. At that point I hadn't really looked into it much, maybe a little bit with Hunter, but I hadn't really looked at the other 2 yet. Now I've had a chance to look over them, so I'm going to create a video series for each one of the classes as they come out and kind of relay that information on to you, give you my thoughts of the changes, and we'll see how it all plays out in Legion. So we'll start off with the very first class that they came out with yesterday, which was the Hunter. Now, I've never played a Hunter as a main, so I'm not that familiar with it. I've leveled a couple up to, like 60s or 70s or whatever, but I've never actually played it as a main. But I have, of course, I've fought against them lots of times in PvP. I've watched them in PvE. I've talked to a lot of hunters. I've played with a lot of hunters. So I'll give you my opinion on how they've changed the hunter class. Now, the first thing that you're going to notice is that they are dramatically changing the hunter class itself. No longer are you all basically going to be bow or gun users with pets and basically have some minor differences in abilities. The 3 specs now for hunters are completely different, and it's really exciting actually if you're a hunter, because you're going to have a wide variety of play styles to play with now. It's completely going to revamp the way hunters are done. I've talked to hunters about the changes to their class, and they're all very excited. I'm excited. I'm not even a hunter. I'm thinking about playing a hunter though. Anyways, so we'll start off with the hunter. The one thing that the developers did mention here is that, right here it says the challenge with the hunter class in WoW is that for the most part, while all 3 specs deliver the same basic fantasy, they're basically the same in their gameplay, the distinction between them is fairly minimal. That's what we basically just talked about. Now the changes in Legion, they're going to be completely different, and I'm really actually excited about these changes. So let's start off with Beast Mastery. Beast Mastery is going to be very similar to how hunters are today, or specifically Beast Masters. They're specialized with using their pets. Their pets are going to do a lot more damage, and it's not going to be very much different than how people view the class today. So if you like the way the class is today, you might want to stick with Beast Mastery, but I urge you try the other specs because they sound really exciting as well. So you can see from these abilities that Beastmaster's got. Here's an idea of a Beastmaster in action. Cobra Shot you're still going to have. It's a quick shot that causes moderate physical damage. It's an insta-cast. Dire Beast, though, is going to be an ability that helps you regain your focus. So it's you've got a 40-yard range on it. It's an instant cast with a 10-second cooldown, and basically it summons an extra pet for you, and every time that pet does damage over 8 seconds for you, you'll gain back 4 focus. So you're basically using that to continuously recharge your focus much faster. One of the problems that people had when they were playing Rangers is that their focus gets drained out, and then they're sitting there just casting Cobra Shot over and over and over again, and that's boring. So this helps you regain that focus. Summoning a beast reduces the remaining cooldown of Bestial Wrath by 15 seconds. So kill command. Now this, it doesn't tell you if you're going to have the target down to a certain health. A certain percentage of health first, so I'm assuming that you can do it right off the bat. It's cost 20 focus at 25-yard range from the pet, and it's instant 6-second cooldown. Gives the command to kill, causing your pet to instantly inflict strong damage to its target. Again, it doesn't say whether or not they have to be down to a certain health percentage, so I'm assuming you can do it when they're at 100% health. Wild Call is a passive, and your critical strikes have a 30% chance to reset the cooldown of Dire Beast. So you should basically be able, with all the critical strikes hunters tend to get, you'll probably be able to have Dire Beast up permanently. Now I don't know if you can have more than 1 Dire Beast up though. That would be interesting if you can have 2, 3, 4. I'm not really sure how that's going to work. If you have any idea, leave a comment below. The mastery that they'll get is Master of Bleeds. Increases the damage done by your pets by 45%. So again, this is going to be your pet class for your hunter specs, where your pet is going to be doing a lot of the damage for you. So if that's what you like, you might want to stick with Beastmaster. Additionally, to provide a glimpse of some of the talents, and they may build upon this, one example is Way the Cobra. It's a passive. For every pet or guardian you have active, Cobra Shot deals an extra 5% damage. So that's leading you to believe that you're going to be allowed to have more than one maybe more than 2 or 3 pets active at one time. Be interesting to see. Could you imagine having a hunter where you've got, you know, a herd or, you know, a pack of wolves or something like that are with you? That sounds actually pretty cool. Survival. Okay, now survival, people knew this was coming. People knew that they were going to be getting hunters to have a melee spec, but I think a lot of people, myself included, thought it was going to be a hybrid spec, much like the old vanilla days, where if you were in close range with a hunter, they were forced to bring out their weapons and fight you at close range. And, you know, but they'd eventually want to get it back up to long range and start using their bow or their gun. That's not the case here. This is going to be a true melee class. Basically, they're saying here that you're foregoing using long range weapons, and you're only going to be a melee class with the additional help of your pet. So anyways, not only do survival hunters use melee weapons instead of ranged weapons, they're also now the only hunters to make use of traps. So they're going to be the only spec that uses traps now. And here's some really neat abilities. I was looking through these earlier, and this looks really neat. So Harpoon is basically like a reverse death grip. It's got 5-yard range, instant 15-second cooldown. So basically, you hurl a harpoon at your target, and it pulls you to your target. And then when you get to your target, it roots them in place for 3 seconds as well. So that's a really neat new ability. Raptor Strike, it costs 20 focus, melee, instant. It's a vicious slash dealing moderate physical damage. It's going to be your one of your main melee attacks. Laceration, 35 focus, melee range, instant, 10-second cooldown. Tears a wound at the target, dealing heavy damage over 12 seconds. So this is your bleed. I like the developer comment here. We promise it will actually do good damage. The Mongoose Bite. So this one we want to really pay attention to the mechanics here. It's melee range, instant cast, or instant. It's not a cast, I guess. 10-second recharge, and it's got 3 charges. So. And then it's a brutal attack attempting to sever the enemy's limbs, dealing strong physical damage. Each consecutive Mongoose Bite will dealt within 3.5 seconds of the last will deal 50% increased damage, stacking up to 6 times. So that's a 50% increase up to 6 times that you're doing it. So you've got 3 charges. So basically you go in, you're hitting the guy the first time, another time 50% more, another time 50% more, right? So there's another ability down here that grants you 3 charges of Mongoose Bite, so you'll be able to do it 6 times in a row. I'm going to assume that by the time you get to the 5th or 6th hit, you're going to be doing a significant amount of damage. Flanking Strike is an ability that you use with your pet. So if you're facing your target and your pet's on the flank, your pet's going to do extra damage. If you're on the flank and your pet's facing your target, then you're going to do extra damage. So your damage increase is 50% for whichever one of you is flanking your target. It's an instant with a 6-second cooldown, so you're probably rotating that into your... Wing Clip. So this is going to be your snare. 30 focus, instant, maims the target, reducing their movement speed by 50% for 15 seconds. So think of the combination here now. If you're running at another target, you're going to harpoon yourself into them, which is going to root them into place. You're probably going to wing clip them right away, so their movement speed is reduced by 50% for 15 seconds, so that you can stay on top of them. Then you're going to lacerate them for 12 seconds. Then you're going to, do your your flanking strike, or you're going to do your Mongoose Bite or whatever, your Mongoose Bite like 6 times in a row. And by the time that's done, your 15 seconds for your harpoon is over. So if they've gotten away from you, you can harpoon into them again and then root them in place, rinse and repeat. You're going to wing clip them, and then it's going to be over and over and over again. So you're going to be able to stay on your target. It's going to be really hard for them to shake you. So we already went over Snake Hunter. It's an instant with 1 minute cooldown, instantly grants you 3 charges of Mongoose Bite. So that's pretty deadly. Like every couple of cycles through that little set of abilities, like where you do Harpoon Strike and then Wing Clip, Mongoose Bite, Mongoose Bite, Mongoose Bite, Mongoose Bite. Every couple of times you go through that, you're going to be able to use Snake Hunter as well. So that's really exciting as a survival hunter. If you're looking to be able to melee as a hunter, you're going to have, I think you're going to really enjoy playing survival. Now, marksmanship was a total surprise to me. I had always hoped that World of Warcraft would come out with a spec where long range bow users were basically like, that's what they did. They were the long range marksmen, and they basically relied on bows, and they did a huge amount of damage with their bows. And that's basically all they relied on. You know, it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to use pets at all. You just rely totally on your bow or your gun to do damage. And I was actually really hoping that they would bring a class into the game that did that, or do that with Hunter. So anyways, they have actually done it now with Hunter, and I'm really excited about this. So all your abilities are going to basically be to increase the damage or control your target with your bow. So your snares or whatever you have is going to be done with bow abilities, and you're going to be doing massive amounts of damage. You won't have the use of a pet, it doesn't seem like. So arcane shot, you're already familiar with that. A quick shot that causes moderate arcane damage and generates 5 focus. Seek vulnerabilities. Targets hit by your arcane shot and multi-shot have a chance to be marked with a hunter's mark for 6 seconds. And then you've got your marked shot. It's a channeled ability. So, but the nice thing about this ability is you don't actually have to stand in spot. You can channel it while you're moving. So it rapidly fires a shot up to 3 targets affected by hunter's mark, dealing strong physical damage. Now you got to remember how some of these abilities are used, because there's other abilities that are used on top of this to do even more damage. Also exposes vulnerability in the target, snaring them by 15%. So this is one of your snares. And increasing aimed shot damage done by the target by 25%. Last 10 seconds, it stacks up to 3 times. So you're going to be doing a lot of damage with some of these abilities. Aimed shot, it's a powerful shot that deals physical damage. And critical, your mastery is sniper training. Critical strike damage and range of all shots is increased by 12.5% with mastery from typical gear. So, and additionally, to give you an idea of what kind of talents, this is called lock and load. It's a passive. You attach an explosive charge to aim shots with dealing strong additional fire damage to the target. Doesn't say whether it's a dot or whether it's just, a quick boof, extra fire damage, but I'm assuming it's just the extra fire damage. It doesn't say that it's overtime. Your range auto attacks have a 5% chance to trigger lock and load, causing your next 2 aim shots to cost no focus and be instant. So that's going to really ramp up your DPS if you get if your ranged auto attacks start proccing this. So anyways, I'm really excited about what changes they're bringing to the hunter. I think most hunters I've talked to, I think all hunters I've talked to actually have said that they're really looking forward to this. I'm actually looking I'm really looking forward to it. I'm actually thinking about trying out a hunter as my main, because I really like the changes that they brought to this class. It looks really exciting. So anyways, that's the end of the preview for the hunter. I'll be doing videos on each class as they come out. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to put them down below. If you feel like it, subscribe to the channel. If you want to talk to me live, you can talk to me on my Twitch channel. That's at twitch.tv/Aladar, and I'll put the link in the description. Hope to see you there. Thanks a lot.